Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about self-discipline, why I think it's very important to have it, and probably like everybody knows it already anyway, and what I'm doing in order to build self-discipline, because definitely I'm very far from the person who can call herself a self-disciplined person. So probably you all already heard this idea that in case we are thinking about big and ambitious goals, we should pay attention not to our motivation but actually to our discipline, because motivation is a lady that comes and goes, but discipline is something that stays with us. And also you heard this idea that discipline is a skill, and this skill is like a building muscle. So you're not gonna be able to have like big muscles in one day. It's gonna take time, and you should start small. And I agree with all of these things. Like, obviously it's no brainer, but at the same time, for some of us, and I'm gonna use today me as an example, it's definitely hard to start building self-discipline in case you already have a history of so many promises to yourself that you broke, so many things, so many big goals that you started, so many big plans that you gave up. And it's kind of break self-confidence, it's break self-trust, because even though you think you're gonna do it and you promise yourself, eventually you give up, you're not following, you're not standing up to that. And it crashes this discipline, it crashes self-discipline so much that you even afraid to start doing it again, because kind of you already know, I'm gonna give up. And today I want to talk about some of the techniques that I started implementing in order to build again this self-discipline practically from scratch, probably even like from -5 level. Definitely I'm not an expert, definitely I cannot call myself as a person who has a high level of self-discipline, but definitely I see progress since January. If I compare myself in January and I compare myself now in July, I do see progress, and I want to share some techniques and strategies that helps and still helping me to deal with that and to build self-discipline. So first of all, I would like to clarify and identify what is actually self-discipline. To my understanding, self-discipline, it's a set of different systems, it's a set of different goals, a set of different habits that support your values, that support your ideas of life, that support your big and ambitious goals. And you can do what you think you should do even in those moments when you don't feel like it. And as I told, I completely agree that building self-discipline, and I believe it's a skill, it's the same way like you are building a muscle. So obviously the first step will be to start small, especially if you have a history of promising yourself way too much that you could handle, like I did, giving up and crushing your self-discipline, crushing your self-trust. So the first steps will be to create a habit that you will be paying attention to, that you will be very consistent with, and it should be really tiny habit, because we're not thinking about even reaching a big goal. We're just thinking about fixing your broken self-trust and fixing your broken self-discipline. So the very small step will be like kind of doing meditation for 1 minute in the morning, or drinking your coffee properly, sitting at the table, not standing somewhere in your kitchen, or like having a walk for 5 minutes every morning. Like 5 minutes, if you can do it better, great, but don't get into this trap and thinking that if you promise yourself to walk 5 minutes a day, and after for a week you are able to walk for an hour, if next day you're again going to walk for 5 minutes, it's already kind of like a loss or a sign of broken self-discipline. No, this is probably this is the biggest mistake I have done personally. By setting, even at the beginning, I knew that I should start small. So I was setting myself a small goal. But because the goal was really small, for the first couple of weeks, I was able to go way beyond that goal. And when kind of my motivation started going down, and I was able only to keep at that minimum level that I have set for myself, because it was kind of already less than I was able to do for the first couple of weeks, I kind of felt already like a failure, like a loser, and this inner critic, inner perfectionist started talking to in my head. So kind of the key point to set yourself a reminder and not forget, you are setting yourself a minimum threshold. If you are able to go beyond there, great. If not, that's okay, because the key idea of building the self-discipline is actually just to hit that minimum thing. That meditation for 1 minute, that walking for 5 minutes, no more. If you already done it, great. So only if after a while you will feel confident about that, and you will be 100% sure that you can trust yourself with doing meditation for 1 minute or being able to walk for 5 minutes, only after we can start thinking about kind of raising the level up and setting kind of more serious, think bigger. But definitely, and this is something I think was one of my biggest mistakes in the past, setting way too big goals, or even if I'm kind of trying to be smart and I was setting small goals, after going beyond that and not being able to handle it when I still need to do only the minimum amount of what I decided to do. Next thing which helps me a lot, and I already mentioned it in some of my previous video, it's this idea of identity-based thinking. So instead of just trying to push myself to do like this walking or this meditation, I'm trying to think like a person who loves it. And I'm telling myself, I'm the person who loves meditation, or I'm the person who loves walking. I'm the person who loves eating healthy food. And I told that I'm using some anchors, like for example, this ring and some other helping tools and techniques. And there are a bunch of videos on my channel already about that. But kind of the idea is to change the way you think. I'm not pushing myself to walk. I'm doing it because I'm that type of person. I'm that kind of person who loves walking, who loves meditation, who loves eating healthy food. Next point, which I also think is very important, is to create routine. Brain loves routine because for our brain, it's the way to save energy. Because everything new requires kind of something new from brain, some extra energy. But if it's something that we've done many times in the same way, for brain it's so much easier. It's a minus on one hand, because that's why it is so hard to break old habits, because they are kind of old routines that brain loves. But at the same time, it's a good news for us, because once you are able to break them and you are able to build new routines, they kind of gonna stick around, because brain doesn't want to waste it. So creating routines like this morning meditation, like walking in the morning, first days, first week, maybe even first months, it might be hard, but eventually it's gonna be easier. Another thing is to create some trigger that can help you. So probably you heard this recommendation, and I think they are really good ones. It's like already getting ready your shoes, your clothes for walking, or have a special place for meditation, and you're going to have like a pillow or something else, like a mat, that once your eyes see this clothes or this yoga mat, it will be like automatic trigger for your brain. Okay, now I'm going to do meditation. Or okay, now I'm going to put these shoes on and I'm going to have my 5 minutes walk. And kind of some rituals, especially if they are kind of connected to time, like you are doing meditation in the morning or you're walking in the evening, because brains start associating some certain actions with certain time, it's also easier for us to stick to them. Another thing which I heard from actually many people, that's a very popular recommendation, it's to have this 2-minute rule. Let's say you decided to walk 5 minutes, but you literally cannot force yourself. It's like today, it's one of those days when you literally cannot push yourself to do. But at the same time, you want to prove yourself that you're a self-disciplined person, and you want to build this self-discipline. So you then tell yourself, okay, today I cannot hit these 5 minutes. Okay, then I'm only going to do it for 2 minutes, only 2 minutes, and that's all. And for 2 minutes it will be enough. It will be already be a sign for me that I have a good level of self-discipline, because I was able to do it even in this very hard day for me. And if you're doing it for 2 minutes and after you still feel like you cannot do it, okay, just don't do. It's still okay. You still did a great job. But in most cases you will see that after 2 minutes, quite often you start feeling a bit better, and you can continue till your 5 minutes or till 20 minutes if it's something that you set for yourself. So I tested this 2-minute rule a couple of times. Not always was successful, but I feel it works, and it definitely gives this very nice feeling that you're able to overcome something, and kind of this feeling of being proud of myself. It's definitely a nice one. Next point is connected with tracking your progress, and I have a couple of videos about that on my channel already, but the idea is very simple. In order actually to see your progress and not to be blind and not to be in this autopilot mode, you need to track your progress. And you should see, okay, how I was able to doing that in January. I wasn't even able to walk like 5 kilometers. Now I'm able to hit 7 kilometers, for example. Or I was not able to walk for 10 minutes. Now I'm able to walk for an hour. And even though it's not probably as good as some of your friends can do or some other people around do, but if you look at yourself in January and you look at yourself 5-6 months later, you see that there is actually a progress. And it's so easy to see all those healthy people who are running like crazy in the morning and thinking like, what's the point? I'm not like them. No matter how hard I'm trying, I still cannot do what they can do. This takes the power. This makes, at least it makes me upset, that type of thinking. So I'm trying consciously bring me back to idea that their situation is different, my situation is different, and I'm trying to remember how was it. And luckily I did some videos and I have some photos of me at that time, so I can compare me now in July and me in January, already like two different people. Now I'm able to do so much more than me in January, so it's already a progress. And when you see the progress, it already serves as some kind of motivation, as a sign, as a proof of all the hard work I have done. And it kind of takes away this unpleasant feeling that you are still not in that place where you would like to be, but definitely you are also not in that place where you were starting from. Next thing is connected with technique, which is called distress tolerance or discomfort tolerance, and my next video is going to be about that. I want to explain it in details, but kind of the idea is you need to build a skill to be able to do something that doesn't bring you pleasure, that brings you actually discomfort, but you're doing it with the idea of a long-term success. So you don't feel like eating this salad. It's not so tasty as tiramisu, obviously. But if you are still able to eat that salad and you are able to do it for the next couple of months, then you know you are on your way to a more healthy version of you. Or you don't feel like running, you don't feel like walking in the morning, but you're still able to do it because you have a bigger goal in mind. And there are more to this technique than just this simple explanation. And again, please check my next video. It's going to be about distress or discomfort tolerance. Next step, which I think is also very important, it's dealing with failures, dealing with some kind of mistakes. And I already told, in case you are building something completely new, it should be hard. There should be mistake, there should be failures. Actually, absence of failures is a red flag because it means it's way too easy. So you are not growing, you are not progressing. You should evaluate mistakes as a part of your journey, as a part of your self-building, self-discipline building. Because if it's so easy and there is no mistake and it's going so easy and so smooth, then we are dealing with two other issues. First of all, it's really too easy. There is no progress. You're just doing something which is way too easy for you. So like You're just gonna stay in the same state you are. And second, you are dealing with self-perfectionism. And we already know that that perfectionism, it's not gonna help us at all, because you will only put yourself in more stress, in more negative thinking environment, and definitely it's not gonna be helpful for you to reach your goals. And last point, which is also probably you heard, is the idea of celebrating your wins. And it doesn't mean that you need to buy yourself something or kind of eat that tiramisu instead of salad. No, it even means acknowledging the fact that today I was able to do something that previously was way hard to me. Today I was able to stop myself from binge eating, even though it's so hard, and I was dealing with this urge surfing so hard, but today I was able to do it for the first time. And it's actually a real case scenario. Today it's happened just in the morning with me. Or today you were able to kind of walk faster than you typically, or today you were able to run for the first time. And just acknowledging that, telling yourself thank you, being grateful to yourself, to people around you, to the situations, it's already like a win. But of course, you may celebrate also in a different way. You can definitely buy yourself something. You can go to a nice place. You can give yourself a nice rest. You can, like, there are more options, and probably it's completely different topic. And I'm also have something in my mind that I would like to say about that. But kind of, yeah, track your progress and celebrate your progress. It's really important. So I hope you find this video useful. If you have any more ideas how to build self-discipline, maybe you have your own stories, how you were able to see the progress, please share them. Again, the more tools we have, the richer we are, and the easier it is for us to reach our big and ambitious goals. So thank you for staying here with me. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon.